Hello, welcome to Omni Den. I'm Omni, and I just wanted to come on to YouTube to share my love for various pieces of media and fandoms that I've enjoyed for most of my life. One of such things is Godzilla. I watched him since I was a wee baby, just a little child turning on the TV and seeing a giant monster smash through the city. It was the most exhilarating feeling hearing the roar of Godzilla in the background, literally shaking this old TV set that I had. But a little bit of history. Godzilla was made in Japan, produced by Toho, and was made in 1954. His birthday passed recently, and I could have released this video for that, but obviously we're here now. But yeah, to tell a little story about Godzilla, I remember waking up Saturday morning. I lived in Jamaica at the time, and it was a nice, bright, sunny day outside. But as the introvert I am, I just stayed inside, turned on the TV, which was this old school vacuum tube TV, just about has color, has 1,000 knobs on it, no remote, and I would flip to TGJ, which really there's no flipping, there's only two channels, and watch whatever they had on at the time. And luckily for me, I believe I woke up at 10, so they had a TV section for 2 hours before the news comes out at 12. Forgive me, it's been a while. Where they would show whatever movie they could afford to rent or buy the rights to for circulation. I One of such movies was Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. I love that movie. I Right now I love that movie to bits. It's one of my favorite films, and it's my first Godzilla film I've ever seen. Just seeing this towering monster coming out of space, and these massive like crystalline things on the side. I preface again, I had no idea what Godzilla was. I had no idea what this series was. I just knew that there was this big monster stamping through the city and had to fight this other big monster. And I don't remember much about the movie now, and I really should just rewatch it. But it was, for what I remember on that Saturday morning, for 2 hours straight, I was captivated, absolutely captivated by the cinematography, the actual scale, the destruction. I have never seen at that young age of I believe 9 years old or so. I've never seen that level of destruction in a city before. It was incredible. The characters were not anything special, but that didn't really matter because they were not the star of the show for me. It was Godzilla, this a man in a costume, yes, but you never, as a child, you would never believe that. You see this giant monster, you absolutely believe that guy could exist, and that's when I fell in love with Godzilla. And then ever since, I've been watching the cartoon, the 90s cartoon, even the before the 90s cartoon where we had Godzilla Jr. or whatever his name is. I watched the American Zilla and all that unfolds. I've watched almost every single Godzilla movie that I could get my hands on at the time in Jamaica, because I personally didn't have any internet, so I just had to scrounge and buy whatever I could find at thrift shops and local sellers and such, and people on the street. So I never watched them in order, and I didn't know that there were different eras and different companies who made different things and such. But it was a great experience learning about Godzilla because it made me learn about kaiju and other giant monsters, other giant creatures and other giant things. And it was my first introduction to Japanese media. Really, it was either this or anime, but I believe it's Godzilla that was the first my introduction to anything Japanese. And man, what an introduction! Hearing that roar of Godzilla, sends chills on my spine, even through a crappy speaker like a vacuum tube TV. It still sounds amazing. I got yelled at to turn down the TV. I do remember because I turned it up so loud to get that real bass. But I truly enjoyed that movie. And then I saw Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Godzilla versus Biolante, and such. Very strange movies when you look back at it plot wise, but very well done. Especially Godzilla versus Biolante. The monster design in Violante intrigued me so much because that's what I love is monster design, is that world building, is that thing. Because he's Violante, much like Space Godzilla, is made from Godzilla's DNA, and you can just about see the Godzilla's attributes that make up his being. But he's such a unique thing, being a more plant-based organism, and being this, having the soul of the Doctor's daughter, I believe, inside of it as well, made it a quite unique thing. But it was a really cool third movie I watched, I think a couple of months later after scrounging around, and then I just hit off from there. Then I discovered, when I came to another country, like comic books of Godzilla and even manga, and that's where it just exploded for me to love Japanese media, not just this anime and such. And yeah, that's what I love, and that's what inspired me to try to draw this poster. I struggled a bit. I won't lie, but it was fun. I drew this like 3 or 4 times to try to get it right, but it was fun trying to figure this out and everything. I know that a lot of artists out there, budding artists and amateurs, who have struggled with this kind of thing, but yeah, you just gotta sometimes just buckle down and do it and relax, or take a break and walk away, do a couple laps, and come back to it. Sorry if I stutter a lot. I might remove that. I might not. It depends if I remember. But yeah, I do feel that Godzilla has been a big part of my life. And I wish I had more access to, when I was growing up, like cons and comic book shops and all that kind of thing, to explore this more. So it was basically just me who loved Godzilla in my entire school. It was just me who loved Godzilla and this big kaiju. It's not until very recently in my life that I'm able to share my love with anyone. It's been a glorious experience. So I wanted to share that with people because, yeah, Godzilla means a lot to me, and I believe it means a lot to people. And in recent times, I believe that we should have some joy, some actual happiness. So yeah, if you like this video, subscribe, share with your friends, and hopefully I get better in the editing and better in everything else, and come back to see what else I make. Next time I think about making a video about Power Rangers, something else I enjoyed growing up, and something else I think a lot of people had a lot of love for, everything. So please join me then.